They say betrayal cuts the deepest when it comes from the ones you die to protect. I didn't die. I learned. That morning was unusually bright, almost mockingly so. Our family vacation had been planned for months. My sister, as usual, had taken charge of all the arrangements. "You never take a break," she'd said. "Let me handle it." I let her. That was my mistake. At the airport, I wheeled my suitcase toward the counter, humming softly, already picturing how the twins would light up at the sight of the ocean. The agent behind the desk smiled, typed for a moment, then frowned. "I'm sorry, sir. Your ticket's been canceled." "Canceled?" I repeated, confused. "Yes, the rest of your family has already boarded." For a second, everything went still, just a blank, white noise in my head. Then my phone buzzed. A text from my sister. "You should be taking care of the kids." Attached was a photo, my twins, sitting alone on the bench outside our house. That was the moment I broke. Cleanly, like glass. I was never meant to raise those kids alone. After my wife's accident, her death left me hollow. My sister, Alina, stepped in to fill the emptiness. She moved in. She cooked, organized, comforted. The twins adored her. So did I. In that fragile way grief turns trust into dependence. She became my anchor, my constant, my family. But slowly, cracks began to show. Little things at first, missing receipts, hushed calls, laughter hiding lies. She started managing everything, our finances, our plans, our lives. I thought she was helping. She was controlling. The day I asked about missing transfer, she smiled like I was a child. "You're imagining things," she said softly. "You're just tired." Maybe I was. But exhaustion doesn't cancel flights. Betrayal does. When I got back home, the twins were exactly where the photo showed them. Hungry, scared, waiting for someone who wasn't coming back. That night, I held them close and made a promise. No one would ever hurt them again. The next morning, I started digging. Every email, every document. She had booked the entire trip under her name, using my card. Hotels, flights, excursions, all in her control. She'd even opened a joint bank account that only she could access. She hadn't just abandoned me. She had erased me. That was the moment I stopped feeling, because feelings were her weapon. She knew how to twist guilt, play the victim, and cry on command. So I decided to fight her way, quietly, precisely. I began collecting evidence. Every transaction, message, call. Then I filed a discreet fraud report in her name. A lawyer friend, someone who owed me a favor, helped trace her movements and assets. And then I waited. Patience, I learned, is the most sophisticated kind of revenge. 3 months later, Alina came back. The trip hadn't gone as she planned. She'd maxed out the cards, charmed a few strangers, and left a trail of debt behind her. She walked into the house as if nothing had happened. "You should have seen the view, brother," she said with a smirk. "You have loved it." I smiled. "I'm sure I will, when the bank statements come in." For a brief moment, her expression faltered. Just a flicker, the first crack in her mask. Over the next week, I pretended nothing had changed. Let her think she'd won. She even began planning another trip, unaware that investigators were already tracking every email and booking she made, each one leading straight back to her. Then the call came from my lawyer. "Everything's ready," he said. "Just needs your signature." That evening, while she sat at the dining table sipping tea like a queen, I placed a folder in front of her. The twins were asleep upstairs. "What's this?" she asked. "Your ticket," I said. "This time it's one way." She opened it. Inside were the documents. Fraud reports, bank closures, police statements, asset freezes. All in her name. Her face drained of color. You wouldn't." I leaned closer. "You left me at an airport. Alina, you left my children alone. You already did." She tried everything. Denial, begging, fury. I'd seen it all before. I didn't shout. I didn't need to. When the officers came that night, she screamed my name, pleaded for mercy, for a rewind of time. But time doesn't rewind. It only reveals who was watching while you plotted. As they led her away, red lights flashing across her face. She glared at me. You set me up. No, I said quietly. You built the trap. I just let you step inside. Now, the house feels different, calmer. The twins sleep soundly. Their laughter finally sounds like healing. Sometimes I think back to that morning at the airport, how betrayal doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers, wearing a familiar voice. People ask if I forgave her. I tell them forgiveness isn't freedom. It's forgetting who held the knife. I didn't forgive her. I just stopped bleeding. And that, I've realized, is its own kind of peace.